What's up, world? Do you know what high school football dominance looks like? How about a Kansas State record of 11 KSHSAA Championship titles? It looks like a program with the foundation built on competition, toughness, and knows how to battle adversity. We sit with head football coach Jon Holmes of the Bishop Miege Stags football program to discuss everything from his journey as a player to coming back to his alma mater as a volunteer coach, to reeling off 6 straight championship titles and the love-hate relationships this winning has brought to the program. We talk about these things and so many other topics. Thank you, Coach Holmes, for all you do in the community and the impact you make on these young men and their lives. This is Enterrupt KC. Enjoy this episode.
Welcome back to Enterrupt KC, the Kansas City podcast, where we dedicate ourselves to people, places, and things right here in Kansas City. It's my boy JL.
Let's go, man. What's up,
man?
D-Rod?
D-Rod, man. What's going on,
D-Rod,
Jay?
JL. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'll tell you what. Anybody who is around right now is sweating because it's hot and humid in Kansas City.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
a little
man.
bit.
It's
Just
crazy.
a little bit. You know that verses I like to. This or that, man. Which one is it?
I know, man. I know.
It's
summer,
brutal, man.
Summer
It's
or
brutal.
winter. Summer or winter, man. I mean, honestly, this makes me want to do winter. But then we get to winter and it's like negative 10 degrees, and I'm like, give me the summer.
Right.
Give me the summer, man.
Right. It ain't too bad, man. It ain't too bad.
No.
You know, it's a little toasty, but hey,
Absolutely.
Midwest weather, man.
Man, we are in good old Roland Park, Kansas today. I don't know if we've done an episode here yet.
We have not.
We
Man.
have
not, man. There's been quite a few people, guests that
Yes.
have been alum from
here at the school we're in.
Yeah.
Can't
man.
wait.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good conversation, a lot to cover, man. This dude is making himself a legend. Practice by practice, game by game, year by year,
Man.
championship by championship, man.
I can't wait to hear all about this stuff.
I can't either. Let's interrupt our guest, D-Rod.
Let's do it, man.
And by interrupt, you already know we mean introduce our guest, head coach of the Bishop Miege football program, Jon Holmes.
What's up,
is
homie?
up, Holmes?
Not much. What's going on, guys?
Man, you know, we're in your house, man.
That's right.
We're in your house.
Hopefully you guys can feel the greatness here at Bishop Miege High School.
It's hard not to, man. Looking around, I'm like surrounded by trophies, surrounded by plaques.
I mean, there's not a bare spot.
There's
not a
there.
bare
we have had to
spot.
add on to the trophy cases, so that is a good problem to have.
That's
That
a good
is.
problem, man.
We're gonna get all into
Yeah,
that.
I mean, did you walk these walls when you were younger?
They weren't filled up this much when I walked it, but
No?
you know what? And I didn't have the honor of putting any of these trophies in here either.
No?
So,
But
no.
you did come
yeah,
to
I was in 2002 graduate.
2002.
Yep. So
Okay.
born and raised in this area and lived a block away and live right next door now. So
You know what? Somebody
nice,
we know was talking about Holmes
Was that Luke?
back when you were in school. And it was our boy, Chef Vince Paredes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Vince was
the
like
farmhouse, man.
the
Give a shout out to
Let's
the farmhouse,
go,
man.
farmhouse,
Oh,
man.
yeah, man.
Shout out to our
Incredible.
boy Vince, man. Hey, he was like, man, you want to know one thing I loved about Holmes? And I was like, what's that? He was like, anytime we needed to burn a CD, that's where we went.
Napster, man. That was before it was all popular.
LimeWire.
Yeah, we had it all at our house.
Hey, you probably had so many viruses.
Man, was
on
you
your
selling those for
computer, man.
$5 a pop?
You know what? I think we just bought the CDs. That was it. We just wanted people to come over.
Yeah.
That was it, man.
Hey, club mix, Holmes mix.
That's
let's go.
right.
Yeah,
Party
yeah,
at Holmes'
I
house.
still got a few of those mixes laying around.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. You got to
Okay.
throw it on every once in a while.
I mean, that's a great era, man.
Man, I like to hear that.
a
Which
great era.
one was you
Oh,
bumping
there was a
to?
good. I mean, Papa Roach Last Resort
Hey.
was the big song here.
Papa
man.
Roach.
That was
Yeah.
it. That
Let's
was
go.
it. And then now he's coming back out. So it's like, man, all these guys are starting to come back
They
out.
are,
man,
man. They're not going nowhere.
It's like clothes, man. You know, like they went out of style, they come back in style.
That's
you know,
facts,
like
man. That's
it's all
facts.
like our music went out of style, comes back in
Now
style.
it's back.
telling our kids like, told you your music sucked.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I wish I would have hung on to some of my clothes back then, though.
Oh my God, dude.
I'd be making a lot of money at these
my
resale
God.
stores they got now.
It would be insane for you right now.
I think I still
Insane.
got some old clothes, man. That probably I could probably do something with, man.
So, man, Bishop Miege, man, you are the head coach, but let's talk about your origins, Holmes. You talked about you came to school here, you graduated in 02. Yep. Did you play football, man, your whole life? What did that look like? You
so
I
started playing at St. Agnes in 5th grade.
Oh, okay.
Was the youngest of 5 kids, and my older brothers played, so I started playing and really fell in love with it, and then got to high school and fell in love with it even more. Was able to start a couple years here, and then I was lucky enough to get a scholarship at Fort Scott Community College. And now I'm thinking like, holy cow, man, I can go play this thing in college. That was an experience in itself.
Was you a one-position player? Offense,
I was all
defense?
over the place. So I was like a tall, skinny guy. So I was a defensive end. I was a offensive tackle. And then my senior year, I moved to tight end. And then that's when I went to college to play tight end.
No QB?
No way.
I
could not throw.
The youngest of 5?
Yep.
So any of your other siblings play?
No, I was the only one that played in college.
Yeah.
So I had one brother, Mike, that played here all 4 years, and he was the only one that played all 4.
Do you hold that over him?
Sure,
sure. I'm the guy.
Yeah, they all know, I guess, right?
All talking as a family
That's
with
right.
maybe the wives or the girlfriends growing up. Yeah, he's the guy.
That's right. That's right.
I hear that, man. I hear that. So you went to Fort Scott?
Yep.
Did you know, man, like, I think I'm a coach one day.
I think I realized that because I wasn't a very good player.
That's
what you see. I think
you played college ball.
I think
man.
the older you get and the more you play, it's like, man, these guys are a lot faster than me. They're a lot stronger than me. That's just the way it went. And I think when because I went to Missouri State in the spring of 04 and got hurt during spring ball.
Okay.
So I was kind of like, I don't know if maybe playing's what I want to do. Maybe coaching's what I want to get into.
Did you get a lot of injuries when you were playing?
Shoulders. I mean, it was all shoulder injuries. I think I dislocated my right one like 4 or 5 times and had surgery on it twice.
Things were different back then, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, equipment, man.
Yes.
I mean,
Yep.
pads. Everything was
way different. The way you practiced. Oh, yeah. I mean, even the way you practice. I mean, you hit every single day in practice.
Yeah.
Where now we're lucky to hit once a week.
Ain't nobody hitting you tapping. You just tapping.
No, so that's kind of and that was it. But that's when I decided maybe coaching is kind of what I want to get into, and it just got lucky because. I mean, I've only coached here. I'm going in my 22nd year here, 14th as the head coach.
It's insane.
Well, that's what they say too, though, homie man. Is that sometimes there's a niche, man, for a player, and that's what they got. That's what they get. Sure. But being where you transition into coaching, you got that eye. You got that eye for whatever it is on that
paying
field,
attention,
right?
man.
Sure,
paying attention,
sure.
right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, listen, man. I was not the athlete you were, but I played sports. And I always felt like when I got hurt, it was my opportunity to actually watch the game and enjoy it a little bit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you get hurt. You said 04, right?
Yep.
04.
Yep.
And you just decide like, I think I might have to tell my coach, or did you finish?
Yeah. Well, I went through spring ball and then kind of had the exit meeting, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to come back. And then I was lucky enough here. My head coach was still the head coach here.
Who was your head coach?
Dan Ritter. Coach Ritter was here 98 to 04 or 05.
Okay.
So then he hired me as like a volunteer. He goes, hey, I don't have any money for you. I don't even know what you're going to do, to be honest with you, but I don't want you to not be around the game. So
what did you start off with? What did you start off with?
I was the volunteer tight ends coach.
Okay.
So what's crazy, I was a senior when the seniors were freshmen when I was coaching. So it was like those guys knew me as like a player.
Yeah.
So then to kind of come back,
it's hard.
It was really hard. I was 20.
Yeah.
I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
Junior in college. So it's kind of like, whoa, man, I'm your coach now.
Did you feel like you failed?
Oh, you always fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but did you feel like that coming back though?
No, because I think those guys, like I had a good rapport with those guys.
Yeah.
And still talk to a lot of them.
Yeah,
and
but I'm just saying because I imagine, I just imagine that players experience that probably a lot.
Sure.
More than we talk about,
Oh,
honestly, because not everybody, makes it through college.
Yep.
Not everybody makes it to the pros, obviously. So, I mean, injuries happen, man.
Oh, yeah. And there's such a small percentage of guys that make it to college.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, that gets even smaller to finish college.
Right.
Yeah. So I came back for a year, and then I was going to go play again somewhere else, and I went and visited a couple places.
Right.
And I just said, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a year removed from playing.
Right.
I was taking classes. I was going to finish a degree. I was like, I don't think I'm going to go and play. And I just kept coaching. And thank God I did.
I was going to say, I would think that when you come back, you said like it was kind of hard, right? Because you knew the players already.
Yep.
So I speak on that. Like, was it more like they were like, man, you ain't got to be coaching me. Like, you're just not that, right? I mean, because the deal is it's a competition, man. They're competitive.
Yep.
Right.
They're competitive. And for you to be an ex-player and coming back in and trying to coach them, I mean, and you're still like,
as a volunteer.
As a volunteer and still like eye level, like you're not that older than them. So I'm sure it's kind of standoffish about that.
I think there's a time and place for it, though. I love bringing back our former players now to coach because they have a whole different perspective of things.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I helped with is being 20 years old and 3 years removed from being a player in the program. Yeah. Those players felt comfortable talking to me and saying, hey, I don't know if we should be doing this, or hey, what if we do this, or why are we doing this? That's the stuff where you sit back as a coach and you're, because those players aren't going to come to me as the head coach. I can tell you that.
Right.
I mean, they're not going to ask, hey, coach, how come we're doing it this way and not this way? They're going to find the young guy on staff and say, hey, what's Coach Holmes doing this for?
Right.
And that was my role. That's how I was with all that.
Yeah, so that kind of leads me. I mean, I was thinking about that as we're talking. Like the transitions that you see with your players. You've been in the game for so long. Like, speak on that, man. Like the transitions you see of your players from being even on the field and off the field.
Yeah.
Right. Like, what's that like, man?
Sure. I mean, that's fun. Like this summer, I've been to 4 weddings of former players. And they're all in their 30s now. So it's kind of like, wow, man, I guess I didn't feel that old.
Yeah.
But you don't think about those types of things when you're in the moment and you're coaching them.
For sure.
But then you always say as a coach, well, I'm going to help you be, a better husband and a better father. And you say those things. And then when you see it and you see like living proof of it and the things that you've done and see how these guys are going to be students and now they're getting jobs. I've talked to more companies about former players, and that's the fun part about it is, they're calling to get a recommendation on a guy that I coached 10 years ago.
Wow.
15 years ago.
Wow.
And kids don't realize that this stuff's going to follow you everywhere.
For sure, man.
But the first person these companies are going to call is the high school football coach.
Coach, that, man, hearing you say that, man, that alone, JL, man, that alone just lets me know what type of man you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For after so long and so many years, man, and hats off to you, man, because for having them, still being invited to the weddings. Come on, man.
Sure. That's fun. That's fun.
Right? I mean, that's a personal good time
for sure,
moment, man.
Oh, yeah.
So that says something about you, Coach.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking about, you said you're impacting them as a young man. Obviously, you want to make them a better brother, better son, better future husband, things like that. I would think that there's a lot of challenges there, man, because you don't, and I think this is the unique thing about football, and I want to give you the opportunity to talk about Holmes. Football seems to just organically do that to young men somehow, some way, right?
Yeah.
These are people from all walks of life. When I look at any football team, not just yours, these are kids from urban, rural, probably suburban homes, single family homes, no parent homes, parent homes, right? All kinds of backgrounds, right? And then they play this game, and here you are barking and yelling, tackle right, block that guy, whatever you're doing, right? And it just molds them into a solid human being. So what do you feel it is about football? High school football especially is so powerful there.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it's the work these kids put in it. Anytime you put a lot of effort into something, you're going to care about it, and you're going to care about the people that you get to do it with. And I think that's what we've tried to create here in our program is to get kids bought into it and invested.
Yeah.
We get their parents invested in it, and once you get that, Now you're getting full 100% from the parents and the player. And honestly, one of the best things about Bishop Miege is the diversity. Is that we have kids from all walks of life here.
Right.
So you're walking into a real world situation in our program, and there's going to be adversity that hits you every single day. And how are you going to respond to it? You know, some kids call you in the morning and they can't get a ride. Some kids will call you and say, hey, I'm out of gas, or hey, I got to go pick up so-and-so because he doesn't have a ride.
Right.
And that's the stuff we're trying to create with these kids where, hey, find a way. You know, that there's going to be days, if you're going to be a little late, you may have to be a little late, but find a way to get it done, because that's the stuff we want those guys to develop the older they get, to where they're going to know how to get through those types of situations.
Yeah, man, for sure. Finding a way to do it, to accomplish something, right? Initially, it's at a young football, high school football age, it's getting to practice, it's making the team, whatever it is, right? And then all those characteristics follow you into manhood.
Sure.
You know, and I wouldn't just stop there. You know, we had a great conversation with Krishna Lee. Shout out Krishna Lee. She was a female football player, played for the KC Glory, but an Olympian too for track and field.
Yeah.
And she talked about how sports did that for her on the female side too. How it just helped her understand camaraderie and teamwork and all those things, right? Just helped her tremendously. 2012, man, you became head coach. So let's talk about that transition, man. So you started off as a volunteer, right? Tight ends coach.
Yep.
How many years later? 10?
8.
8 years later.
I was 28 years old.
28 years old, man, and you just get passed the torch. Here you go.
That's right. You know, and not just pass the torch, but like pass the torch from like a Kansas City icon and legend. You know, I mean, a former Chief player.
Yeah.
You know, Grunhard was the best. I learned.
Was it coming
a lot
off of
from
a
him.
championship team?
So we had won in 09.
Okay.
And then 10 and 11 we had lost in like the quarterfinals.
Okay.
And then he left after that season.
He left after that season.
Yep. And you know, to kind of, I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here without what he did for me and the responsibility he gave me at such a young age.
For sure.
You know, he let me run with stuff and let me lead and fail and, you know, figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. And, you know, but again, when you're passionate and somebody else is passionate about those same things, you know, those are the things that usually happen. And that's what happened. And, you know, he had almost left a couple times. So I was kind of ready for it. Like,
where was he going?
You know,
Back to the Chiefs?
He was going to
or
go
what?
all over the place. One time, maybe Notre Dame was going to hire him. One time, he was going to maybe go to Avila to be their head coach when they were kind of starting their program back up. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, this KU thing's like a real serious thing. And he was always really good about talking about it.
Sure.
And then he called me after he interviewed with Coach Weiss and was like, hey, I'm gone. And like, what? And he goes, oh, yeah, I took the offensive line job. And I was like, oh, wow. So then, obviously, my wheels start churning.
Yeah, for sure,
man. Well, man, I got to be the next head coach then. So
what were you before that?
I was the offensive coordinator.
Coordinator
for the last 6 years.
Got you.
So, you know, I had an idea. I had a good, you know, rapport with the staff.
Okay.
Great rapport with the players.
Okay.
You know, I was the young guy on the staff, so you know the players felt that. But then as the interview process plays out and everything goes on, man, I mean, it's like it starts getting real and real and real. Like, oh man, they're calling me back for a second interview. You know, but the minute Grunny left, I did everything the head coach did. You know, and I was going to have the school tell me I'm not the head coach. Like that was what
For sure.
Like, hey, I'm going to do everything until they tell me not to.
For sure.
You know, and I learned a lot during that 3 months where, you know, we were going through the interview process and, you know, that's where you learn a lot is when you're the guy doing it.
What's the interview process for a high school football coach, man?
Yeah, well,
Talk about that.
Obviously, man, it's changed a lot, you know, because a lot of people tell you that outside of the admin, the high school football coach is the most important position in the school. So it's more than just being on the field.
Well, and you're coming off of some pretty good seasons too, so there's expectation now,
and a lot of interest in the job, and you know, outside guys applying for it and looking into it, and now all of a sudden the whole expectation has been raised with what we want to do here and the things that we can do here. But as the head football coach here, it's more, I mean, being a private school, we have to, all right, how's our enrollment going to increase? And, you know, I know we'll touch on some of that stuff later, but there's more, hey, marketing, how are you going to market your program? What are you going to do on your home games to, you know, get a good crowd?
Right.
There's just a lot of stuff that you don't even think about as an assistant coach.
And they put all that on you to come up with that curriculum.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and you got, hey, what's your off-season program look like? Hey, how are you going to get your players to college? I mean, there's just a lot of things that go into it.
Stuff that people don't even know.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
And now, like, that was before social media was real big.
Right.
You know, and now it is huge. Where that's a huge part of the job, you know, where we got to have guys, we got to have guys come in and take pictures of what we're doing and post it out there. And, you know, just so people can see the things that we're doing in our program. And, again, that's where you got to evolve as a head coach every year, too, because it changes. I mean, it's nothing. Like, no 2 years have been the same since I've been a coach.
Well, I mean, you're still a young guy.
That's right.
Right?
41. So, you know, I feel
you're younger than both of us,
That's
man.
right, man. I feel young.
You young ass, man. No, I mean, you're still a young guy, man. So you got that on your side. And I would say, man, the great thing about it is you have a bunch of high schoolers. So they're going to kind of keep you fresh on the what's in social media wise, right? Yeah. Like, hey, coach, man, look, they're doing this over here. They're doing that over there, right? So I think that's awesome there. You talked about when you became the head coach, you get through the interview process, man. So how do you set expectations for your program, man? Like, what was the difference you would say? You walking in, now you're the head coach, right? They announce you your head coach. What's the expectation difference? How did you set your tone? Yeah,
well, I mean, it was kind of funny because the players were all fired up and excited when I got introduced because it was somebody in-house. It was going to stay the same. Yeah. You know, but the one thing in talking to the admin here, they wanted to make sure, hey, you're going to be the head coach now. So you're going to have to set the tone with how you want those players to treat you. Because as a head coach, it is different. When you sit in that chair, man, it is a chair that – anything in the program, it's on you. Right. So something negative happens, it's on you. You know, something positive happens, it's because you made sure those guys knew the expectation. Right. Yeah. And that's where it was hard. Like our first year, you know, we ended up 7-6, but we were state runners up. Right. You know, we hadn't played in a 5A state title game since the 80s. Wow. So we got all the way to the title game, got absolutely just destroyed by Bishop Carroll. I mean, it was nothing went right in that game. Sure. And all of a sudden it's like, well, how in the heck is this going to be positive moving forward, you know? Then we come out the next year and we go 9-2. So it's like, you know, and we win the league for the first time since 1995. Yeah. So it's like, man, now we're starting to get it. And then 14, the run starts, you know? So it's kind of like you kind of have a plan that you want, but, you know, you got to change it. And, you know, obviously it's nothing without buy-in from the kids. And so you got to get a little input from those guys from time to time. Oh, yeah, you know, and that's big with me is, hey, if practice is starting to get kind of boring, you know, because, I mean, who wants to practice over 2 hours every single day? I mean, it is a lot that goes into practicing. You know, so you're only as good as your players are in practice. Right. You know, so it's like, hey, coach, why don't we try this? Or, hey, let's put a team period at the very beginning of practice, and then let's end with competition. Right. You know, so you start doing that, and that's what you hold over the kids is, hey, man, you're the ones that helped me design this practice. So if there's a lull in it, we need to fix it. Yeah. You know, because there's a lot of coaches that say, nope, this is the way we're doing things. Right. But that's not the way things are anymore. I mean, you just can't do it that way because you have to get the most out of your players. Oh, man.
And I'm sure that helps build their own confidence and esteem playing with each other, camaraderie. You know, when they come up with ideas like that and present it to you, like, okay, cool, let's do that then. You know, that's good for them. Team building.
You know, and it makes them feel like they have a say in what's going on in the program because, again, it's got to work with the players and the coaches. It just can't be the staff because the players are the ones that, I mean, I say it's our job as a staff Monday through Thursday. Friday night, it's them. I mean, there's nothing we can do. Like, I mean, we're not strapping up and putting helmets on. You know, I mean, we're trusting our players with the game plan we design, and they got to be comfortable doing it. Yeah.
The practices, man. Before we start talking about games and all that, man, do you feel like the way you've coached practices has evolved since you started being a head coach?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially here because we're at a point now where we play guys on offense or defense.
Okay.
You know, so we're not.
really?
So we're not playing guys.
Is it because
a lot
of
of guys
the
both
smaller
ways.
school population? Or
Yeah, you know. So I feel like we got more ready guys. So that allows us. Hey, offense, you're over there. Defense, you're over there. Where at the beginning we were playing some guys both ways. So you have to make sure you practice offense and defense each practice.
Yeah.
Well, when we're split, you know, there's a lot more time that can go into the kind of situational side of the game. You know, the fundamental side, you're able to kind of extend individual period a little bit longer, add kind of a situational period. And that really has helped our guys, I think, develop. But again, as a coach, I mean, I'm going out and watching college and pro practices and going to clinics and trying to see where it's evolving at the next level.
Yeah.
So that way we can make sure we're doing our job by making sure our players are ready to play at those levels when they get there.
Getting in step with them.
Yep.
Right. What's that roster looking like now, man?
Oh, man.
So we got players in our program, we have 114, and there's like 330 boys in the school. So we have a big number, you know, and that's the
Well,
that's
I mean,
the fun
being a
part,
good program,
right?
man, everybody
and
wants to
that's
play.
the fun part, you know. And the good thing, like, we don't cut. You know, we have a freshman team, a JV team, and a varsity team. You know, and that's what's been fun is like we've been built on like program kids that come in, play on the freshman team, then they play on the JV team, and then when it's their turn to play on the varsity team, they're ready to go because we've prepared them at every level they've played to be a varsity football player.
Right.
You know, and that's, you know, guys get hurt. We're pulling those guys up. So, like, we have to coach our freshmen and JV kids just as hard as our varsity guys.
Right.
Because we don't want to drop off when those kids have to go in there and
for
play.
sure, man.
I mean, because there's going to be injuries every year.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you mentioned the practice side of things. That's where we've really evolved as a staff is getting really involved at every level with those freshmen and JV guys where – you know, it used to be the varsity coaches, all you talked to was your varsity players.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where now you're mixing with everybody.
For sure.
You know,
for
like,
sure.
I mean, I'll be honest, I coach my freshmen sometimes harder than the varsity guys. Because I want to keep this run and what we're doing going.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure those guys understand how I'm going to coach them. You know, and it takes a little, like the summer's fun because, you know, they come in all excited. And then the first time, you know, you rip them for doing something wrong, their eyes kind of get open. Then
or the first time they're puking out on the field, right?
We had some of that. We had some of that last week at team camp. We had some guys that learned what championship period was about. So they're going to know when we do it in 2 weeks what it's about.
And that's what I you know, kind of, you know, what I want to touch on too. You know, when I said about the transition of your players, you know, when you got some freshmen coming in and you don't cut, which is fantastic, and you seeing them how they build and grow. And they grow and grow into some players. Like, speak on that a little bit, like the confidence booster that they must have, man, coming in, right?
I mean, that's the best part of coaching, in my opinion, is, you know, everybody can have the superstar. You know, you don't have to coach those guys as hard. But when you develop the player that wants to be great, right? And honestly, like, that's what I saw in myself. Like, I was a guy that wasn't the most talented, but I was going to put a lot of effort and work into it. And that's the way I coach, is the exact same way. So these kids that come here every day, you know, it is my job to make sure I'm coaching them because they're showing up, you know, and that's as they get older and they start doing things that they don't think they can do, right? Like, you know, this week in the weight room, we're testing and doing a bunch of max out stuff. And kids are hitting weights that they never thought they'd be able to hit.
Wow.
Well, because they've put 10 weeks into this thing, man. So now they're starting to see those results, you know, and that's what helps is those guys are starting to see the results of what they're doing.
Confidence boosting.
So now all of a sudden they think they can do anything, right? You know, I mean, they still might not be able to, but at least they think they can.
That's okay.
You know, and that's what we say every game night. We want to go out there thinking that we're going to win that game. You know, we're not going to look great getting off a bus every Friday night, but by golly, we're going to play hard and we're going to be prepared. You know, and I think once those kids feel that really helps with that confidence.
Man, I was thinking as Holmes was talking about this. Sorry, Coach Holmes. I know you was Holmes. Coach Holmes was talking about this. I'm about to age myself, all right? I was thinking about, you ever seen the movie Big Trouble in Little China?
I have.
There's a scene where they're going down in an elevator, I think, or they're getting ready to go fight the evil people. And they pour like this little drink in a cup. And Kurt Russell drinks it, and everybody, because they're all scared. And they all start looking at each other, and they're like, oh, I don't know. There's something about this. I feel ready. I feel like I can do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
But it's the physical part, right?
Yep.
You're just helping them believe, hey, you can do this, give you that confidence. You said something, or you talked about something a little bit there I wanted to hit on. Hard work beats talent. Is that something you live and die by, man? I mean, talk about that, because I imagine you've seen players come through here, either as a volunteer coach, assistant coach, or head coach, or your own football career. Stupid talent, like holy moly, crazy talented kid, don't want to work as hard.
Sure.
Right? Talk about that, man. Like, how do you get those talented kids to understand you're lazy, you need to work hard, you're not going to go as far as you think with this work ethic? What do you do?
Sure. You know, the biggest thing I try to tell them is when you sign up to play football here, you're going to be held to a higher standard. And that's what it really has taken off is, again, our best players out there, I'm coaching the hardest. So, you know, if we get a guy in a summer workout, you know, running time gassers, if he's a starter and he's not finishing in the top half, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to make sure as a staff that we're calling that out and making sure that kid understands that expectation. Because a lot of times, you know, and that's the unique thing here is we got kids that come from all different areas. So it's not like I'm going to a middle school and talking to 30 kids.
Yeah.
You know, we might have 20 different schools represented in one class.
Right.
So those kids got to figure out how to work together fast. You know, and that's what we use our summer program for, is to get them to understand how they have to work. You know, and making sure if they got these goals, right? Because every player will say it. I mean, we have them write out goals. They all want to win a state championship.
Sure.
Well, that's not easy to do.
Right.
And it's not easy to do with the target we have. And that's what I think we have to get these guys to understand.
Yeah.
And then some of them say, well, I want to go play at the D1 level. Right? Well, hey, man, if you're working like that, there's 25 other dudes working harder than you. So you're not going to get there.
Right.
And I think that's what has worked the most is, you know, we've had a really good track record of kids coming through our program and having success at the college level. So I think these kids, I mean, now, like, we're at a point where like all these players in our program, I remember seeing at the games when I first became head coach. So these were the guys that were on our sideline coming in our locker room. So they've seen all the same kids too.
Okay.
So when you're calling out these kids and you're saying, hey, you guys remember watching this kid play, they remember it. And I think that's where you really got something, is then those players come back and talk to our current team and say the same things that we're still telling them.
For sure, man, for sure. There's got to be a lot of beauty in that, man.
Oh, it's awesome.
You know, there's got to be, man, because I could imagine, I mean, you know, some young man at the time that you were coaching, right, goes off in life, does their thing, maybe has some success, you know, comes back, and they're helping you now coach kids again, you know, and now they probably completely understand your message.
Oh, it's awesome.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what's great. Like, I'm lucky enough, I have 4 former players on my staff.
Wow. Who are they?
So we have Quanzi Johnson, Montel Cozart.
Oh, yeah. He's the QB, right?
Yep. Cameron Clark and Kalen Key.
Okay.
So all those guys played for me, you know, and all went on and had success in college.
Wow.
And now to have those guys come back here and like, when stuff gets hard, though, again, as I talked about earlier, those players are kind of looking at them like, man, well, is this? And they're just nodding their head like, let's go. I mean, you know, you got to find a way.
Yeah, you got to get there.
You know, they're really good about telling the players now, like, hey, you don't always listen to maybe how Coach Holmes is telling you something,
right? But
listen to what he's saying, because he's going to yell at you from time to time. But listen to what he's yelling at you. You know, you can tune out how he tells it to you. You know, and I'm honest with them too. Like, sometimes, hey guys, I might snap and lose it on you. But man, listen to what I'm trying to tell you, and I think that's
like
what's
me as
fun.
A father.
Oh, you know, that's again,
parenting, man.
That's it, right? Like, you're going to tell something to a player, and they're kind of looking, like, all right, well, let's see if he processes it this way, and then if he doesn't, you got to figure, all right, well, what's another way I can get him to process what I'm trying to tell him?
You know, but then again, man, Coach, that goes back, man. To I can't help but to think that goes back to that father figure. You know, that they may be like, you know, JL talked about it earlier about the diversity of all the kids that come here and play, you know, from here, there, wherever.
Right.
And then you get a coach who's passionate and sees what they can become.
Sure.
Yep.
And you get in them that way, and it gets in their head. You know, that's where I think that also there, you hear it so many times, even with grown NFL teams, about how they respect the coaches because of how it's not just a coach.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what you're instilling in your players as well, man.
Oh, I mean, it's, you know, like I want these guys to see me outside of coaching.
Sure, man.
And I think that's really important. I mean, I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
You know, I've been married 16 years. Like,
Nice.
I want them to see me around my wife and around my kids because that's who I am.
Right.
You know, and growing up in this community, it's been a little different because a lot of people here have seen me as like a ball boy, a player, a coach, and now all of a sudden a head coach.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, I haven't changed who I am. And I think that's where, like, it's funny. I'll be out at a grocery store around town and kid will look, oh, Coach, what are you doing here? Well, same thing you're doing here, man. They got avocados are on sale, man. Like, you know, that's what I'm trying to get her. Hey, man, their tenderloins on sale.
Hey, man, bag of chips, man, 2 for $5.
Yeah, like,
man.
Hey, man, those Powerades are $1. Like, I'm loading up on those for the week, you know, and that's like, and then they kind of like, oh, yeah, well, he is. Well, yeah, I'm just one of those guys.
Human,
and I think that's
human being.
and that's the funny part is you see kids out and it's like, and my wife and kids are accustomed to it. We're going out to eat, and
oh man,
hey, well, where'd Dad go? Oh, he stopped at that table. That's one of his old players. That's an old parent, or you know, and that's the fun part is when you're out and you see those kids and you see those former families.
Yeah.
You know, they're the same people that they were, and I think that's the fun part about it.
I want to talk about that a little bit more here in a second, man. The hate-love relationship you probably have with people here who know Bishop Miege football program. Not of course the Stag community, but outside the Stag community. We'll get there in a second. Your schedule this year, man. Let's talk about. So you guys are in the Eastern Kansas League, right?
Yep.
Your schedule, I was looking it up. You got St. James.
Yep.
You're at St. James, Blue Valley Southwest, Blue Valley West, at Rockhurst, at Aquinas. Holy moly, that's a heck of a 2 weeks. St. Pius, Blue Valley North, and then Blue Valley.
Yep. That's a grind.
That's a schedule,
That's
man.
a grind.
I mean, you talked about preparing your players for just a football game, but you have a program. Like, this is not just a football team. This is a football program, a really good one you've established over the years. What do you tell them, man? I mean, do you talk about the schedule? I'm sure they see it already. I mean, what do you do week by week? How are you preparing their minds for this going into the season?
Sure. So, you know, I think we break our schedule down in a lot of different ways. You know, number one, we play in the EKL, so it's the hardest league in the state. You look at 4A, 5A, 6A, it produces state championship caliber teams every year in those classifications.
Right.
So our job as a staff is to get our players to believe they can compete in that league. Mm-hmm. And I think it's something like 9 of 13 years we have finished first or second in that league.
Yeah.
You know, last year we obviously didn't. The COVID year we didn't have it. So, you know, I think that's what's been crazy is these kids believe they can do it.
Okay.
So, you know, you got to get them to buy into that league first.
Yeah, for sure,
You know,
man.
so now you're bought into what the EKL is. And then, you know, your one non-con game, Rockhurst. You know, we started that in 2018, and that has been an
Was
awesome
the schedule
addition.
not hard enough for you? You're just like, let's just throw Rockhurst
honestly,
on there.
like that's what is so fun, I think, with our schedule is our players that come here know how hard our schedule is going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like we added St. Pius this year. Well, they've been one of the best teams in Class 5 in Missouri.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't played them since like 1996. So now all of a sudden we're adding that game to the schedule. With Rockhurst,
Thinking about
with
like
the
a
EKL,
Liberty North or a
right. I mean, it's,
next.
you know, and that's the crazy thing. It's like, you know, we'll play. I mean, we went down to Missouri and played Cardinal Ritter last year in St. Louis. They were they were on a 35-game win streak when we played them.
Wow.
You know, it didn't end well, but for 3 quarters we were within a score.
Right,
I think that's the mindset we have as a program. Is hey, I'm not going to be afraid to play anybody.
Yeah.
You know, because those guys got to believe that they can do it.
Man.
You know, and that's why. When we get into the playoffs, we're prepared. And I think, I mean, last year we went in at 1-7, but I felt really comfortable with what we had because we knew our strengths, we knew our weaknesses, we'd been in close games. So I think I felt really comfortable about what our team was going to be able to do if we got into one of those games.
Right.
And week to week, our kids knew, all right, yeah, well, we're going to give it our best. We come in on Saturday morning, we get the initial game plan on Monday, put in 3 great days of practice, and then come out and play on Friday. And I think that's the mindset these kids have.
Yeah.
So that's the fun part about the summer is now you get them, all right, well, hey, like St. James is going to be a great one because they're opening up a brand new stadium. So we know the crowd's going to be great. You know, they came in here and laid it on us last year. I mean, that just killed us, you know. So I think that's what our kids have seen, and like that's what they want to be able to try to go do, you know, as the season starts, is come out, start fresh, and you know, it's really important in 4A to get out to a good start so we don't have to go on the road. You know, we want to be able to play here.
Yeah.
I mean, we took some road trips around Kansas last year that we don't want to have to take this year. So,
and it was pretty brutal.
Oh, man, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
And these first 8 games are vital into that. Like, you have to be successful in those games for this to work.
Yeah. Man, there's got to be a team on your schedule that you're like, you personally, Coach Holmes, are like, that's the one I circle every year.
Sure. I mean, for me, it's Aquinas. You know, that's where growing up here and playing here, that was always our number one rival.
Okay. And they put out some championships.
Absolutely. And with Coach Dreiling in that program, it makes it even better.
Okay.
Because I know he wants to beat us.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're going against another guy that wants to beat you like you want to beat them, that makes it better. You know, and then the last couple of years we were meeting up in the playoffs twice a year, and, you know, one team win in the regular season and the other team would win in the playoffs. That happened to us in 22 and 23. And, you know, that's where it really gets fun, where when you're a successful program, every team's going to circle you. Oh, man. Because they want to beat you.
They want to come for you.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys are the Chiefs, man.
You're right. It's like, man, like, here we go again. And, you know, you can't feel sorry for it. Like, hey, fellas, like, these guys want to beat you. You know, we lost to a couple teams last year that we hadn't lost in 12, 15 years. And I think for our kids to see how much that meant to those programs, it kind of hit the reset button for them. Like, oh, man, guys, like, it's not easy to do what we've been doing. So you got to make sure that you're doing all those little things right.
You talked a little, you know, a couple of those games, man, that didn't end up well for you, right? And, you know, the fear of failure, man, for your teams, for your boys that are working so hard, man, seems to cripple, you know, their mentality.
Oh, yeah.
You know, how do you bounce them back from that, man?
I mean, you got to get them to believe that they can still do what they want to do. And I think that's what was great with us playing in 4A last year is we knew every loss that we had in the regular season, we were still going to be able to obtain the goal that we wanted. Because there was no team on our schedule we were going to have to play in the playoffs.
Right.
So I think that's what kept our guys motivated week to week is, hey, we got to figure out. Then, you know, week 4, we go out and we're up 10 points against Aquinas going in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're up 24-14. We end up losing 28-24.
Right.
But they were undefeated. They were the number one team in the state, 13-0. And we were up 10 points on them in the fourth quarter. So our guys knew what they can do. And that's the hardest part is you got to get them, hey, when it doesn't go right, you got to get them to believe the next week too. And I think that's the fun part of it. Yeah, and it's hard because, like you said, man, everybody's fear of failure is very high. Yeah, man. Especially in this program where it's like, man, like, I mean, we hadn't been 1-7 guys. I'll be honest, I don't know when. Like, it may have been like ever.
Yeah.
Like,
how do you do it, man? Like, you're the coach. You're the head coach. I mean, you go home every night. Like, oh my god.
Well, you know, I mean, I'll tell you, I lost about 35 pounds last season going through it, man. It was like, whew, I stepped on the scale after the state game and I was like 211.
Yeah.
Usually I'm in the 230s, and it's like, man, no wonder why nothing's fitting right. I mean, it was just like, and you just look back at pictures and you're like, man, I mean, it wears on you. And I think that's because, you know, when you're up in front of the team and you're up in front of your staff, you got to be the guy that holds everything together. And as a head coach, you wear all that pressure. And there's times you got to let it loose every once in a while, and you get home, and I don't have a 30-minute commute. I got about a 30-step commute, so it's like, all right, I got to get this out of me before I walk up Reinhardt. Like, it's got to get out of my system.
Do you hit the treadmill, or what do you do? You hit the punching bag?
Man, it's like, golly. You know, usually it's going and getting in the car and getting ice cream. You know, that's usually, that's usually kind of wears it out. You know, or hey, let's pick one of the kids up and go on a walk, or pick one of the kids up and go get a treat or something. And that's because you expect your players to do that. I mean, it's the same thing, man. Like, hey, man, you got to flush it and come in tomorrow with a great attitude. You know, and that's, you can have a great practice followed up by a bad practice, you know, and that's, you have to flush it. You know, and that's the great thing about football is you could play the best game of your life on Friday. Well, guess what? you got to play just as good next Friday.
Man.
And that's where I think you get these kids to always believe that they have to give their best effort. And if you start that in practice, man, it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah. Man, you know what that is, D-Rod.
Man, I've been
You know
waiting
what
for
that
this.
is, Coach Holmes. We love to celebrate great things, man. That's a salute,
That's a
man.
salute.
Salute
Absolutely,
to you.
boys.
Salute,
Salute.
Program, man.
Salute to you guys,
That's
man.
awesome,
Bishop
man.
Miege.
And shout out to your players.
Man, shout out
to
all
your
of them.
players, man. All of them.
Let's
you
see,
know.
who do I know? Who do we know?
Oh, man.
Shout out Daniel Neenan. I know that young man. What number is he?
Number 6.
Number 6. Shout out 6.
Yeah. He's
Who
a
else-
good one.
who else do I know?
He's a good one.
I know them all, I think, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know any of them. I apologize.
Well, I mean, that means we just got to get you at a game this
Yeah,
year
we
now. Is
got-
what that means, right?
We got to get you.
I mean,
Mieged up.
I've never gotten to experience it, but from what I've heard, the tailgate atmosphere here is second to
I've
none in
heard-
high
I've
school
heard.
Do they
sports.
serve liquor?
JL might have been to a couple. I'm not going to confirm nor deny that, JL, but I don't
I
know.
don't remember, D-Rod. I don't remember.
Right?
It's
Like,
nothing.
yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, and it's a great atmosphere.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
man,
yeah.
like you guys said, our players are awesome. I mean, they're great kids, and that's the best part about coaching is they're going to give you everything they got.
Yeah, for
and
sure,
and that's
man.
all you want is just to make sure they understand that, and they got to know you care about them too. And I
for
think
sure.
that's the biggest thing with me. These guys are awesome, and every player that we've coached, we feel that way about all of them.
You know what we need more of, man? We need more dads who just yell at their sons. That way, when you do it, they know it's out of love.
That's right.
I yell at my boy. I used to yell at him a lot, man.
It's like, man.
Last year, man, let's talk about that real quick. Last game, Andover,
Yep.
right? You guys came up short, man. Great game.
Yeah,
What was
an
it, like
awesome
40,
game. 49-42.
49-42,
Yep.
man.
Wow.
My assumption is you have a ton of returning players.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Shout out to all the seniors. Shout out to the whole team, man. What do you tell those kids, man, after a game like that? I mean, rarely does Miege fall short,
Sure.
right, in a state championship. What do you tell your players, man?
I mean, number one, that you're proud of them, and that number two, that you love them. I mean, and you have to start there because they wouldn't have gotten there if they didn't believe that. And, that's what made that game so fun. We knew we were overmatched.
Yeah.
We knew they were a senior-led team. They were built for this. They had lost to Aquinas the year before in the state championship game.
Okay.
So we knew they were built for this run. And then all of a sudden we come in there with a losing record. I mean, we were 5-7 going into that game.
Yeah.
And just the way we came out and played, I mean, we executed at a high level that whole entire game.
Nice.
And really it came down to, the game was tied. They stopped us, and then they scored, and then they held us. And then they got the ball back and scored to go up 14, and then we scored with like 45 seconds left. So we're like, man, we still got another shot at this thing. And I think that's what made it so fun is you saw the way our kids just clawed and scratched the whole entire game.
Right.
And there's been years here where I'm not sure if our teams are able to do that because we hadn't experienced that adversity that this team did.
Oh, okay.
When you're 13-0, 12-1,
Yeah,
11-2, beating teams
yeah.
by 50,
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of adversity that you have to go through. And this team kind of weathered that, and the leadership was so strong with our senior class.
Nice.
But then all the underclassmen bought into it, and they believed. Because if they weren't in on it too, man, like there's no way we would have been able to come out and play the way we did in that game. Marco Rodriguez had a career game. Taryn Jackson had a career game. I mean, all those guys made huge plays. And then all of a sudden, like Andover Central is kind of like, oh man, like these guys can play. Like, hey man, we're not going anywhere.
Right.
I think that's what was fun. And just, at the end of the game, it's tough because you got your seniors and tiers that know they just played their last high school football game.
For sure.
Yeah.
But then you have your juniors, sophomores, and your freshmen that you want to make sure remember that feeling.
Right.
And know what it felt like walking off that field.
Right.
So that way they don't want to have that feeling again because it's
for
not
sure.
a fun one.
Yeah, well, and then the more important thing also is that they can rebound from that.
Absolutely.
They can watch tape or do whatever, or whereas unfortunately them seniors, they got to take that to the chin.
Oh yeah.
Man, you talked about the community. The community loves you. I mean, I was thinking about, okay, you're the head football coach. You said you're about 30 steps away from here. You go on a walk or go get ice cream, man. I mean, something tells me that people everywhere you go want to talk football to you or the team to you or something like that, right? Great. I'm happy. I'm glad you get that wherever you go. I know people view you greatly here in the community, Coach Holmes. But, man, there's an element of people who do not like Bishop Miege football, anything about Bishop Miege.
Come on,
but let's
man.
stick to football. I mean, you know, let's have this conversation, man, because I've read about it. I've seen it. I've seen people's comments every time you guys do have a winning season. Oh, they recruit. They go and pluck players. They do this and that, man. Man, what do you have to say to all that, man? I mean, how many players have you recruited your whole career? Zero?
You know, we're a believer in what we do here and how we do it.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, our biggest recruiting tool as a program is our parents. Because their kids are having a great experience here at the school. They're having a great experience athletically. And that's, I think, what we've built. And, I mean, I've been lucky enough where I learned from Rick Zeke, Terry English, Joe Huppy, Gwen Pike.
Right.
I mean, 4 really successful coaches that coached other sports.
Right.
And then all of a sudden now you're in a position where you're the one that nobody likes. And it's tough. I mean, it wears on you.
Sure.
It's hard not to see it because it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, it's everywhere you go. It's always, oh, well, you guys do this or that. And to get the players to block it out is really the hardest part, because we talked earlier about social media. That's everywhere.
Man.
And kids, and parents will text you at night, like you're trying to unwind from the day and you get a text, oh man, what is this? And you're like, oh, well, this isn't what we needed.
Why didn't my kid play the fourth quarter?
And it's like, oh man, that's probably not good. Like, we need to address that. And so that's what I think our kids understand is, again, it comes with the territory playing here.
Yeah.
But some of the disrespect that our kids in our program gets is tough.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the last thing we do, I mean, that's what we've tried to build as a program, is we're going to respect everybody we play. And that's what we've kind of built our program on that. And that's what made that Andover Central game so great. I mean, Coach Tuttle and the way he runs his program is phenomenal. We've played him in the state championship 2 other times.
Right.
And I think when you get teams that respect what the opponent does, it helps.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's been good. But it's not easy week to week. I mean, we go to places where
they're saying things,
nobody talks to us.
Oh, really?
We'll get to the stadium and we'll have to find our way to the locker room.
Wow.
And now, luckily, we've played at most of these places.
Yeah.
And I educate the kids on it. Like, hey, we're going to pull up. Our locker room's right here. You're going to walk into the stadium here.
Right.
Yeah, don't talk to nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
Just go. If somebody says something to you, keep your head down and go.
Right.
And because that's what these people want. They want us to respond.
reaction.
For sure.
Right.
They
And
definitely want a
once they
reaction.
get a reaction, they're going to keep going. And if we don't give them a reaction, then there's really nothing else they can do. And that's kind of the mindset we take.
Yeah.
When the ball kicks off, we want that to be our talking. And I think that's the best part is, we've seen a lot of empty stadiums in the third and fourth quarter because we've gone there and done our job. And I think that's the fun part when the kids see that, because they'll start pointing, hey, coach, fans are starting to leave. That's what we came here to do, fellas.
Yeah.
So, I think you just got to get your kids to believe that, block it out, and just go play the game they can, and everything else will take care of itself.
Look, Coach, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, man.
Let's
right?
go.
And I like doing this, man. Here's the deal. I looked it up. All right, for all you people out here who don't know about Coach Holmes here and his program he got, and this is just, I'm going to do the school, right? I'm going to break down some numbers, all right? There's 143 state championships, right? That's just so far. Okay, 21 different teams at Bishop Miege have at least one state championship.
Wow.
21 different teams. 9 have won 5 or more state championships, right?
Wow.
Your team, your football, has won in 1972, 1975, 77. Took a break.
That's right. A long break.
2009.
Yep.
Okay, you talked about that a little bit. Okay, a little break. 2014, 2015, 16, 17,
6 in a row,
18,
baby.
19, and then the last one is right there.
Yep, 22.
2022, man. State championship.
You know what that is, D-Ron.
Hey, man,
you know what that is,
before.
Holmes. That's a Saluuud, man.
That's a Saluuud. So, to touch on them being mad and not talking, hey, man, them numbers. Numbers are
there. You know what I mean? I think you hit it right. It's the whole school.
Yeah.
And I think when the whole program in school has the same expectations.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we are really lucky. And what's great is a lot of the kids I'm coaching had parents a part of those other state championships, you know, and that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize outside of this building is there is a lot of tradition here. So it's like these kids coming in here aren't just people that don't know anything about our school.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them had their parents come here. Some of them had their grandparents come here. A lot of them had siblings come here. And that is what has built everything that we do. I mean, you know, I'm coaching kids now that had sisters go through here that all of a sudden now are a part of our program. And, you know, some like, hey, you know, there's still another Burns or there's still another this. And it's like, yeah, man, they keep coming. So, you know, like that's the best part.
And so, you know, what you said about the other teams here, it's not just football, it's everybody, right? It's everybody on there, which leads me to, I want to give a shout out to the volleyball coach, man.
Who's that?
The whoever that coach is, because they got 29.
They got a lot.
29 total championships, 29. Man. So shout out volleyball coach.
Yeah, so the current coach, Lindsay Franco Zeke. So Coach Rick Zeke's daughter.
Zeke's daughter, okay.
Yep. She was here. Kathleen Ludwig was before her.
Okay.
And then longtime coach Gwen Pike. Wow. So, and Kathleen and Lindsay played for Gwen.
Yeah.
So, you know, you get that tradition.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, I mean, you get people that are used to it and, you know, understand what it takes.
They come from those trees, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
because it's not easy, man. I mean, those trees don't grow everywhere. I can tell you that.
No. You know what, though, man? I was thinking, Coach Holmes, when you was talking about, I mean, obviously, you know, the attitudes and the responses you guys get as a winning program, good and then bad and maybe indifferent with people. I'm a firm believer, man, that greatness gets attention no matter what, right? It does. And, like, I'll use one example, and they're right up the street. KC Joe's Barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they don't have to say anything.
Nope.
Right?
Yeah.
Just watch the line. Watch the people who go there.
Speaks for
the
itself,
attention,
man.
you know. Now, I get it, man. There's people, they don't like it, whatever, right? But they got more people cheering for them than they do cheering against them.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you go to every barbecue restaurant in the city, and there's a Z-Man on their menu somehow.
Pretty much.
You got a sandwich with onion ring and a piece of cheese on it.
They've influenced it, right?
Absolutely.
They've influenced it. And I think, man, that's what I think about with your football program and many others, right? To be fair. I mean, a lot of programs, man, they don't need to say nothing.
Oh, sure.
Hey, we just show up, we put on the pads, we get out here on this field, and we're going to talk.
Let's make it crack. Let's make it crack.
Oh, yeah, and that's kind of what we as a staff is if a team or a program's talking about us, that means they're not worried about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So because you're going to forget, like when a game starts, like, oh, man, the script wasn't very good, or, you know, or no, they turned the ball over to start the game.
Right.
You know, where we focus on that. Like we focus on, guys, here's the script we're coming out with.
Right.
Here's our tricks we got to have ready to go.
Right.
Here's if this happens, here's what we're going to do. I mean, that's all we worry about is our team, our players, how we're going to respond to certain things.
Right.
And we don't worry about anything else. Right. And the minute you start worrying about other things, and you looking around at other scores, and you look, there's all of a sudden it's like, oh, here comes Miege again, and you know that's where we've had a lot of success doing that and keeping that mindset, because we're not worried about what anybody else thinks outside of our locker room. You know, that's the only thing that matters is our locker room, and the players have that mindset every single Friday night.
Oh yeah, man.
I love that, man. The game experience, you talked about the tailgating and stuff like that, Friday night lights, right?
That's right.
It's a big crowd, I'm assuming. How let's talk about the school, but how many students come here again?
Yep, so we're just under 700. We were in the 690s.
690s?
You know, and that's, some classes are 200, some are 150, some are 160, 170. And that's the unique thing here is it kind of fluctuates year to year.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're not guaranteed 200 kids a year.
Right.
It's, you know, our sophomore class is 202.
Right.
Our senior class is like 143.
Right.
So there's a lot of fluctuation class to class with what we got.
Yeah.
You know, but again, that's what makes it unique and a challenge every single year is if, like to me, we have 86 boys in this incoming freshman class.
Wow.
35 are playing football. So it's like, all right, you're getting almost half.
Almost half of them.
You're getting there. Because a lot of programs try to get 20%.
Sure.
We're getting about 40, 45%. that's the hard part is the smaller that number, the smaller the pool is we have to choose from too.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, man. Like, back to the whole winning and greatness. I mean, that is your recruiting mechanism.
Absolutely.
I mean, hell, if I'm a player of any sport, I want to go play where the best team is, if I can.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And if it's at Bishop Miege, it's at Bishop Miege.
And that's why you mentioned our schedule earlier. That's why we play the schedule we do.
Oh, okay.
Is because, the kids that are looking at coming here are looking at coming at every private school in the city. Well, they're all playing each other too.
Yeah.
So if we're the ones not playing somebody, we don't want that to be the reason why they're not coming here.
Right.
And again, it doesn't make things easy 8 weeks out of the year when you're playing that schedule. But when kids that's the fun part about playing St. James, Aquinas, Rockhurst is our players know 50, 60% of those players on the other sideline. And I know a lot of them that whether they've shadowed here or come to our youth camps. So, that's the fun part is you're going up against guys that and that you've been around.
Right. Do you think it would matter? I mean, you read the articles, right? I'm sure you've seen them. I'm sure people have talked to you about it. Do you think it would matter if the KSHSAA, whatever that is, Kansas High School people, if they implemented some sort of rule change for that would not just be for you, but just it would impact you all, right? Like a multiplier or anything like that, man. I mean, you talked about your league is already 4, 5, 6A.
Yep.
So do you anticipate it would impact you guys?
I mean, I don't think it would impact us. I mean, that's because we're prepared for it.
Right.
And honestly, wondering why it hasn't happened yet. Because everybody's got valid arguments wherever you are. Every side of it is, a valid argument. And that's where I think as a program we've kind of adopted is, hey, if they move us up, we're going to be prepared because guess what? That's the league we play in.
Right.
So now, in 2020 through 2024 or 2023 seasons, St. James was 4A 20 through 23, and then Aquinas was 4A 22 and 23. So we had to play those teams like 5 times. You're playing everybody twice.
Right.
And, in 23, we ended our season. We played St. James week 9, and then we lost to Aquinas week 10.
Okay.
So, you turn around and you play those teams in the playoffs, and I think that's what all that would mean to me is, hey, we're going to go play a couple of these teams twice a year, which is what would happen.
Right.
And honestly, that, if you were at our 2022 semifinal sub-state game here against Aquinas, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ice cold. It was 6 degrees at kickoff. The stands were full.
Yeah.
I mean, all the houses on behind the stadium had fire pits going. There was smoke over the field.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the atmosphere that's
football.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that's what our fan base sees and our fan base wants is they want the best for us, and I think that's what if that's what happens down the road and everybody moves up, every single program in our school is going to say, all right, here we go, here's where we're going. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is there's going to be success, no matter where we go, just because I think of what the tradition is we have here.
Oh, for sure, man.
And I think what our people believe here.
Your team coming into this season, okay, like you talked about earlier, they're the seniors now, right? And the juniors and the sophomores, they remember last year if they were part of the football program. Describe your team this year, man. You've had some time with them, I'm sure.
Yep.
You talked about the off-season stuff you've been doing. What do you think coming into the season?
There are a bunch of guys that have the things done that they want to do, and I think that's what we got in the weight room the Tuesday after the state championship game.
Oh, okay.
So we lost on Saturday and we were in the weight room on Tuesday.
Nice.
And that's not easy to do. And that group's been that way. I have senior leadership meetings in February, March, and April and May with these guys. All about what they want their team to look like, how they're going to lead.
Right.
And that's what
with the captains and all?
Yeah, so it's all the seniors.
All the seniors.
And it's anywhere from leadership to servant leadership to understanding what the role of a captain is. Okay. What's a leader going to be like, and that's the things that have to be built then. So when you get September, when October, November, that's the fun part.
Right.
But it's building it. And that's what this team's been so great about. this summer they've been in here Monday through Thursday at 6 in the morning. You know, players start getting here at 5:15 in the morning.
Right.
That's hard to do for a high school kid. Is a lot of these kids are driving 20, 30 minutes away. So they're leaving their houses at 5 a.m. every single morning to come here and work. You know, and I think that's what this group's been really good about. I think we played 16 guys in that state championship game that started or played a significant role or coming back. You know, we had some kids hurt and injured. So then we started a freshman running back, a freshman D lineman in a state championship game.
Wow.
And again, I think that's what makes this team so fun is a couple years ago, the same thing happened is we had a lot of sophomores that got thrust into starting roles. And then the next year they went out and had a really successful season. So, that's what our hope is here is to get them to understand that you keep doing things the way you're doing it. That success, September, October, November is going to follow.
Keep going, right? Keep going.
Yep.
A couple things you brought up, man, that I kind of want to touch on with you. You say you're back in the weight room training. One thing that I never really understood too much, and maybe you can break this down even for me, right? I know that every position there's a different type of training. Right. Sure. Like even like Mahomes, right? He does plyometrics, right? He does a bunch of that. Running back is going to do probably more cardio than weights, you know, because you got to be fast. You know, break that down a little bit. And then also, you said something about injuries, man. You know, and that's a rough one for a lot of people. That's
can't plan for those.
Yeah, that's a rough one for parents. That's a rough. You know, CTE is a big thing, man. Right? You know, how do you keep all that like kind of instilled in your players, your coaches, your staff, everybody? You know,
so I'll touch on the injury stuff first. You know, that's one thing that we always try to be preventative in what we do. So
with equipment,
so like we're training them certain ways. You know, we're doing ACL prevention stuff. We're offering state-of-the-art helmets. Rydell has a new helmet called the Axiom. You know, we had 42 parents buy them. Like the school didn't buy them; they bought them. You know, $700+ helmet. It has like it's a precision fit. So. Like
I'm sure it's
fitted
not too
to
far
each
away
helmet
from NFL, right?
I mean, it's the same stuff they wear. And our trainer has a monitor that he carries with him, and it'll tell you where these impacts were on every kid's helmet.
Is that right?
So it's like, and we just got them this summer. So like you're already starting to see.
Is it on that helmet right there?
No, that's one of the older models.
Okay.
So, but it's like now all of a sudden these kids, hey, are we going to order another round of Axioms? Because they're seeing it and they're seeing, and that's what we try to make sure parents understand is it is a scary game because it's you look at the changes the NFL's made. You know, with what's an illegal hit now, you know, all the hits you used to cheer for at games are now illegal.
Well, not just that, man, but the outcome.
Man. Yeah. I mean, it's tough, and I mean, stats are stats, and so we have to make sure. I know you mentioned earlier about practice. We have to make sure we're doing everything right in practice, and how you're teaching these kids how to hit. You know, how you're teaching them how to practice. You know, I know you mentioned it. I mean, we're tagging guys off. We're not tackling to the ground. Maybe once a week we tackle to the ground. Maybe. And that's, you know, we just don't do it a lot, and you know, because you're seeing it at every level. But again, you're also training these kids year round, which wasn't the way it was 10 years ago. Right. You know, so now the bodies are built different. Now they're built to absorb impact a little bit more. You know, you're working on neck exercises. You're working on strengthening the neck because that's going to help prevent some of this stuff. Because the more data and information that's coming out about injuries, the more you're able to do preventative stuff on the front side of things. To where, I mean, you mentioned the way Pat trains. I mean, he trains for injury prevention. Like a lot of the stuff he does is getting his body turned around, and everybody's when he comes back from an ankle, it's like, well, how'd that happen? Well, look at what he did at his workout 2 weeks ago. Like
the dislocated knee still freaks me out. I'm like, how did you do that?
And the ankle, how fast he came back from his ankle a couple years ago.
Well, just even last season, I mean, not to go, talk on him, but I remember he got tackled and he went backwards, and he just kind of rolled. I can't remember what team it was, but everybody was like, oh my God. And I was like, he's all right. He does it. He practices that shit all the time.
And that's what's been good with at our level is because now you see those guys and you have access to what those guys are doing. Now, we may not have the same equipment, but we're at least trying to keep up with what those guys are doing from the injury prevention standpoint. I know you mentioned a little bit too about kind of the weight room side of things, and you know, that's what's really changed the most is, you know, we've been separating our guys by position. You know, like the skill players might be doing something, our running backs and linebackers might be doing something, and our linemen might be doing something completely different.
Sure.
And that way is you're training those guys with what they're going to have to do during a game.
Exactly.
You know, like linemen aren't going to run 40 yards. You need them to run 5 yards really, really well, and you need them to have to redirect, you know. Skill guys, you're going to have to go in and out of acceleration, deacceleration. So you're going to have to work on that. Your running backs and linebackers, you got to change direction a lot, so you got to work on that. And those are the things that we really focus on is, hey, today's a change of direction day, or today's an explosion day, or it's a plyometric day. Or, hey, now, guys, it's a speed day, so we're going to run a lot. Like you're going to have to get the endurance side of things down. And that's what's really changed with the science in football is, you know, it used to be you'd line everybody up on a line and see how tough they were by how many sprints they could run. Well, you don't do that anymore. I mean, it's like
just hit weight.
Yeah, it's just all different with how you do it. And, but again, when they're doing it year round, I mean, it makes it so much easier for us. And that's the way, I mean, our kids train year round now. And that's where you talk to old school high school football coaches, they're used to having the summers off. You know, they're going to paint houses, or they're getting a part-time job at a pool, or, you know, something where us, I mean, we're in here grinding, I mean, almost more than we do during the season because, you know, we're in here at 6 a.m. and we're leaving at 10 in the morning. So, you know, you're here 4 hours. And you're not here 4 hours after school. So, you know, I think that's what has been the craziest side of things.
That's that dedication, you know, and motivation and determination.
And that's where you see why these kids are so bought in is because they spend a lot of time together. They spend a lot of time doing it. And I think that's what has been the most rewarding part of all this is seeing it all of a sudden when that light bulb clicks on a kid, like, that's why we do that. Oh, well, that drill, that's why we did that drill. You know, and I think as a coach, you got to give that reinforcement when you see it, you know, and you got to explain, you know, hey, here's what we're doing. Like I try to give them a preview of every practice. You know, hey, here's the #1 goal we have to achieve. Here's the objective. It's no different than a classroom teacher. You know, like you're about to have a 120-minute practice. Those kids need to know what the outcome needs to be because 120 minutes can be a long time. Like, hey guys, it's 28 periods. Here's what we're doing. We have to be good for 28 periods. And I think when they know what needs to be done at the end, they're going to figure out how to get there. And again, it's no different in class when the teacher writes all the daily objectives on the board. I love it. And that's just what we try to do with our practices every day.
I was thinking about, man, you know, it sounds like, because you were offensive coordinator, I'm just making this assumption, correct me if I'm wrong, you're an offensive guy background, right? So as a head coach, your team possibly from year to year may look completely different than the year before. Maybe not, you know. How do you change your what you are, you know, want to do with, you know, your offense, with your defense, based on the players that you have that year, man? Like, do those wheels start spinning in the year before, or you know, how does that work for you, man?
You know, and that's what's the fun part is, like, we've been lucky enough to play late November a lot. So you're getting 4 to 5 extra practices a week. Well, we incorporate a lot of JV on JV stuff in those 4 weeks. So we can get those kids scrimmaging, you know. And then I love doing a little period where we pull the seniors out and then we put in all the underclassmen. And then that way, and it's funny because the seniors figure it out, like, oh, that's going to be next year's offense, right? That's next year's defense. Like the players see it. And so, and then all of a sudden you get in off-season mode and it's like, all right, what are we going to have to do because this kid playing this position is a whole different skill set than the kid last year. You know, and that's the biggest thing we try to do is we're not going to force our kids in a system. We're going to cater our system around their strengths. So, like, it's going to look different year to year, and that's honestly the hardest part about, I think, defending us offensively and defensively is, the bones are going to be the same, but how we call it and what we call is going to be different based on what we think our kids can be good at doing.
So do you think, like this year, the team this year, okay, talk about them real quick, do you feel like this might be more of a running team, a passing team, a stronger defensive team? You know, like what are you anticipating going into the year?
Honestly, on offense, we try to keep everything balanced as we can. Last year, we got a little more pass heavy.
Okay.
We had some young running backs, so now those guys are all back. So our hope is to try to stay balanced, but you graduate a 6'4" quarterback, and you bring in a 5'8" quarterback. So now all of a sudden the skill set's going to be a little bit different. Where you got a big, a big pocket guy. Well, how are you going to cater things to make sure Landon has the success that he needs to have? Defensively, a lot of those guys played. So now it's like, hey, let's make them do this and this. Like, let's add a little more to what we did last year. And again, like that's where the fun part is in the summer and the off season is you get to try all this stuff.
Right.
And then you get into August 18th when practice starts. It's like, all right, that probably didn't work very good over the summer. Let's cut that and just do this. And I think that's what makes it fun year to year.
Right.
And honestly, that's why football is so unique. Because a lot of these other sports, baseball, you're playing 4 games a week. Basketball, you're playing 3 to 4 games a week.
Right.
Football, you play once.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
there's
all right.
a reason for that.
Right. And it's like, man, but are we overthinking things?
Yeah,
there's some game plans that we finalized, and it's like, what in the hell are we doing? Why did we think that was going to work?
And sometimes it does.
Oh, man, we got in the playoffs last year, and we simplified everything. I mean, we had all these one-word calls, and it's like, why didn't we do that all year? These kids, we're yelling all these words, and the kids are snapping into where they need to be. And I mean, we're doubling our offensive output in all these games, and it's like, we got 500 yards and called 6 plays.
Wow.
I mean, it's like, man, it was just simple for those kids.
We know
what they see,
often.
right? It's like, golly. I mean, I guess if I wasn't the offensive coordinator, I would have fired the offensive coordinator. But, you can't fire yourself.
You can, Andy Reid did it, I think. I don't know. Is he still the offensive coordinator?
You never know. But no, that's the fun part is like the strategy that goes into the week-to-week things.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell our players is no one would play or coach if you didn't play a game on Friday night. Yeah. And that's the fun part is that like Friday night feeling never goes away.
Man.
Wow.
Like I wouldn't know what to do on a Friday night in the fall if I went on a football field. Right. Like a lot of people are like, you're crazy. Like that's the best time of year. It's the weather's
this
great.
Is your life. This is what you've been doing.
It's like, I want to be in a stadium somewhere, whether it's
Friday night
hot,
lights,
freezing cold, soaking wet. That's the way it is, man. And that's what makes it so fun.
Yeah.
Do you think, man, just for you, back to you, Coach Holmes, I mean, this going to be you forever? Your whole career, man?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, man, is you've accomplished so much, man. You're clearly going to accomplish a lot more, man. I mean, you see high school coaches get plucked up to the next level, right? My guess is you've had some of those conversations. I don't know. Would you be willing to share anything like that? Have people reached out to you?
Nothing that's been too serious. But I think everybody knows how rooted I am here.
Sure.
And I think that's the
you're 30 steps away,
right? And it's like, okay, like, are you gonna give me a house next door to the stadium? Or are you gonna like
live in the stadium?
Can my kids walk to school? My kids walk to St. Agnes to school, and they walk by my office every single day. So they knock on the door. I see them before school.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, like that's the stuff that because you
can't change that.
No, and you only get one shot to be a father, right? And like. Time is time, and it goes fast.
Yep.
When you're consumed in coaching, it is so hard. Like I've talked to guys that are at the next level that miss everything that their kids do.
Everything.
I make it a priority to where, hey, I want my kids at practice. I want my kids to make sure if practice needs to end a little early so I can get to a game, I'm going to do that. Yeah. I think when you're at another level, you can't do that. Yeah. And that's what makes it. I think so fun is you have a family that supports you, right? Because I wouldn't be able to do this without them.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's the fun part is, on Friday nights they get just as excited and just as sad as I do because they see me.
They see the passion,
right? And they see that it consumes me, and then all of a sudden it consumes them.
Yeah.
And the heartbreak after the state championship game, hey, they were crying too.
Right.
They were sad.
Right.
And you
got to go from consoling players to consoling the kids.
Like, hey, honey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be, we lost, Dad, we lost.
Next week.
But again, that's the, you know, that's the fun part about being here and being in a place that you love so much, you know, in the, you know, this community is I'm not sure it's that way everywhere else. And because I'm not invested in another program the way I'm invested here.
Sure.
And sure, you know, it is different when you see other programs, but when you've lived it as a player and you've lived it as a coach now, you know everything these players are going through. And I think that's what makes it so fun day to day.
You know, the one thing about that, man, makes me think about we were fortunate to sit down with David Lopez.
Yeah, shout out David.
Shout out David, man, and owner of Manny's.
Manny's Restaurant.
And he had shout out Manny's, man. And he had on the Miege.
Oh yeah,
he
said
did. Family.
Oh yeah, with the power M on it, man. Oh yeah.
You know, so with you saying all that, I mean, just made me, you know, think about that. Like, it's family, man.
You know, and that's Dave. I mean, David's played in this program, coaching this program, and now, you know, his youngest son will be a junior. So, and he's a kid or a guy that's been, I say kid, but now he's a guy. But, you know, it's like he's invested in this.
Sounds like the mafia,
you know,
man.
Right?
You're a kid, you're a guy.
You know, and like he knows about the program and knows, you know, what it can do. And, you know, that's the best part. Because we talked about at the very beginning is football is just different. You know, and the bonds you make, it kind of happens by accident just because you're around each other so much. You know, and that's what makes it so fun is you see that. And, I mean, you know, you're talking to guys 20 years later and you're talking about stories. Like that's what's fun over the summer going to these weddings is, no, are you sure that story? No, I didn't do that. Like, Coach, you did. Coach, you did.
That generation,
like,
man. That generational, you know, athletes, man, and conversations that, I mean, that has to be amazing.
Oh, it's fun.
And then even more so, I mean, you get it all, I'm sure. You get siblings.
Oh, man.
Team after, you know, coming down, the one who graduated and then coming in. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
What's a story somebody told you just really didn't believe? What's the story? Come on, man.
I'm trying to think, man. I got to think. I mean, there's just ways like, you know, like my first year as a head coach, I was 28.
Yeah.
You know, so I was so anal that I wanted everything done a certain way.
Oh, for sure.
So like one of our captains that year, like after the third game, was like, "Hey, coach, can we talk during stretch?" And I was like, I didn't think about it. What? He goes, Coach, man, I mean, God, you can hear a pin drop out there during stretch. We need to talk.
That's how I like it.
We didn't see each other during school, you know? All right. So then, you know, you let kids kind of talk. And who would have thought like a 5-minute, you know, period where they can talk would like change the whole entire way you practice. And it's just kind of funny seeing stuff like that. You know, and like, you know, like how you would discipline a kid, you know, like, oh, coach, remember when, you know, you disciplined this kid or you suspended him for a little bit of the game because he was late to practice or this or, you know, that's the stuff you look back and you're like, oh, yeah, well, I guess I did. And, you know, but that's the funny stuff. And it's like, wait a minute, no, we didn't do that. Or, man, you know,
I was that much of a jerk.
Like, golly, you know, and like now my daughter's going to be a sophomore. So it's like, so she sees me in like a different role.
She's going to be reminding you your rest of your life, brother.
And like she helped be like a manager this year after her volleyball season ended. So we're in the locker room before the state championship game, and it was like one of the best pregame speeches I've ever given. Like I felt really good. Like I kind of knew what I was going to say, but then I saw the locker room, and then I went a whole different direction.
Sure.
And talking to players like, oh, coach, that was the best one in 4 years, this or that. And like I remember I made eye contact with my daughter, and her eyes got about that big, and she goes, whoa, like I haven't seen you like that in a long time. And, you know, but that's just, you know, the stuff that you do and the kind of the passion that the players bring out in you. You know, because that's the funny thing. Like I don't go into a pregame speech like saying, well, this is what I'm going to say. You know, and it was really hard when Grunny was on staff because I let Grunny talk right before me. You know, so Grunny would be like he was the hype man, right? He would usually take 90% of what I was going to say. So then it's like, dang it, you know. So then you got to go up there, and now all of a sudden you got to change what you're saying, you know. Or man, if Grunny had the weight room or the locker room all fired up, I better just shut up and get the kids out on the field because they're ready to get out there.
You know what he's saying? Let's go.
Hey, just what he said. Let's go, man. You know, and that's the. But again, man, that's that Friday night that you just don't get it anywhere else, man. When you get in that locker room, 20 minutes before kickoff, and you see how nervous the kids are, you see how nervous the coaches are. I mean, that's why everybody does what they do on a Friday night.
Love it.
Let's do a prediction, man. What's the season? Tell us. Come on, man. 2025.
I can't predict
Bishop
anything.
Miege Stags, man.
You know, I expect us to be more competitive, and I've been very honest about that with our current players.
Okay.
What
do you mean by that?
Just, to a point where, we expect to be in every game that we play.
Okay.
And I think that was what was hard last year. At times we knew we were overmatched going into a couple games last year.
Okay.
But to see, like, on paper, man, like, hey, guys, there's a chance we could lose every game. There's a chance we could win every game. Mm-hmm. And, again, that's the hard part with our league is, there's not week 1 through 8 this year, there's not one W that you can put on your schedule.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. And then when you get in week 9 and the playoffs start, you're like, all right, here we go.
Right.
Like, we have seen everything there is to see.
Yeah,
and
we put in that work.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's what this year's team is so excited about is, man, walking off the field as the first loser is no fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they have that mindset and that feeling with them now. So they're going to carry that out every single Friday night to where they want to make sure they write their own ending this year, and they want to write it a different way.
Yeah.
So that's where I think this team's got a chance to be successful because of that. Right. And they understand it, and they know – we talked about it at the very beginning. They know what it's like to fail, and they know what it's going to take to make sure they don't do that again this year.
Right.
It's awesome, man. I think you guys are going to have a great year.
It should be fun. We need to get you guys out to a game.
Man.
Yeah.
Count me
sure.
in.
Come on
I
now.
don't know which one, man. I'm trying to think. Which one's the best one?
Homecoming, St. Pius. That'll be a good one.
St. Pius.
We got a big
circle that.
We got a big alumni tailgate. We have our golf tournament that morning.
Okay.
And then they'll come over here afterwards for the tailgate about 4:00. So
what's the tailgate look like, JL?
Man,
it depends on the
like
game.
This, or are we looking like this?
You know, shout out my boy Michael Rhodes, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Michael Rhodes, Mark Kellerman, those guys will get you right. Those guys will get you right.
Need to be.
All of them, man.
Those guys will get you right.
They just need to hit me up. Let me know
And
what's
then
up.
you need to hit me up.
And then I'm gonna hit D-Rod up.
Hey, consider it done. It's done.
Let's go. Let's go, Coach Holmes.
We will make it happen.
Let's go. Man, toughest conversation you feel like you've ever had with a player?
Oh, man. I mean, anytime you have to discipline a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like we've been in situations where, a kid makes a mistake and he's got to be suspended for a couple games. And to have to say that to a kid, to have to meet with a parent.
Right.
And that's
explain why.
Yeah, and that's the good thing is I haven't had not a lot of hard conversations, and that's, I think what's so great about our program is I think parents understand the expectation and pressure that comes with this. Yeah. And that's why those conversations have been so hard. It is, you get to that situation where it's like, man, this is going to be tough. And that's the hard part because parents are crying, kids are crying, I'm crying. I mean, it's just a tough situation.
Well, my guess is, man, because you're in the community, you probably know a lot of the families with these players too.
There's been a lot of tough, hey, coach, this isn't going to be a good conversation, and that's at least people are honest and open enough where they know that it's going to be a tough conversation. And again, that's a sign of respect where I think if it was easy for, hey, here's what I did. It doesn't matter, but where those conversations are hard. I mean, those are the times where there's been times I've just sat in my office after one of those conversations for about an hour and you just got to let it oh man, you got to process what happened. Oh man, that's not good. And then,
and I'm sure that it's something that doesn't just happen right away. It has to be I would assume that it has to be an ongoing problem or something.
Sure.
Hey, man, like I told you, or man, do it again or do whatever. You're not just gonna come off the fly and be suspended.
No, and that's because there's rules, there's regulations,
and there's a process.
Yeah, and that's what I think everybody understands when they make a mistake. It hurts them because I think they know, it's a tough decision to make, and because everybody's always worried about, what's a team going to think, and I think that's where when you've built the program that you've built, and it means that much to these kids. I mean, most of the kids are like, Coach, I want to talk to the team, I want to apologize to these guys, and that's where again, it's a hard conversation to have, and those are the hard ones, man. Where it's like,
well,
there's a couple of them
coming from somewhere good.
Oh yeah, and that's the hard part because, you see some of these, or you have a meeting set up the next day, and you're like, oh man, and you try to plan it out in your head, and then it just doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, that emotion takes over, and it's like, man, that's a tough conversation.
Yeah,
man. I want to say something, man, because it's making me think of something. So I played baseball. I played baseball. I tried to play football my senior year, Holmes. They told me my grades weren't good enough. I don't know why. But I remember playing baseball, man, and I was pretty decent freshman year. So here's comes sophomore year, and she's now my wife, but it's my girlfriend at the time. And I'm, in the commons area where the lockers are or whatever, and me and her are there, and I don't know, we're just talking. Maybe we're making out. I don't know. We're together.
You're probably making out.
No, listen, this is a true story, man. This is how important coaches are. This is my point with this. The varsity baseball coach sees me. I'll never forget his name, Mr. Garrison Harmon, J.C. Harmon, shout out. He walks by me, and he looks at me, and he just taps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, I want to talk to you later on. I said, okay. No, not thinking anything. Practice comes. We have practice. I go see him, and he goes, hey, I see you with your girlfriend. You're a young man. You got a lot of potential. Think before you act. It's literally what he told me. Yeah. I remember it. Teenager me, D-Rock.
Did you think?
I quit thinking after he said that. Long story short, had a kid in high school, man. Nick, shout out my boy Nick, man. Mm-hmm. And the rest is history, man. But, hey, my coach, to all you kids, man, who might see this video, man, listen to your coaches, man. Yeah. They love you. They care for you. They're out here trying to look out for you, right?
Sure.
So listen to your coaches, man. Just wanted to share that story because I don't even know if I've ever told that story before. All right.
Yeah.
Top 3 ingredients in building a top high school football program.
Man. I think you got to be competitive. I think our best teams here, our internal competition has been very high.
Okay. Like for positions and stuff?
Like you got to be
Players,
deep.
yeah.
Like you got to have more than 11 guys who want to get on the field. And if you don't have that competition, it's going to be tough.
Okay.
Toughness, especially in our conference and our league and the things we want to do. There's going to be times that you're going to get challenged mentally, you're going to get challenged physically. So you got to have that toughness aspect of things.
Got you.
And then you got to know how to fight through adversity a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's going to happen. Now we try to mix in a little fun with it too.
Sure.
But I would say those 3 things are the most important because, that's, to me, is what makes the team is how, how tough you are, how competitive you are, how you're going to handle things when they don't go right.
Right.
And if you can handle those 3 things, usually you can be pretty successful on the backside.
Okay.
All right.
Is there? Sorry. Go ahead. You want to ask one?
Yeah, I got one. Everybody has a man. Do you have a superstitious pregame ritual?
Oh man,
what is it, man?
It's bad. I've done the same thing for 13 years now, going on 14 years. It's what you wear. Right, so I'm a khaki pants.
Okay,
slacks. I wear a red polo and then a red quarter zip.
Okay.
And no matter what the weather is, I'm in slacks and a quarter zip. There's been 100-degree games we've played, and I'm in my red quarter zip.
You like a Miege John Harbaugh?
Oh yeah. That's it. I just got my red quarter zip today for the season. It's going to be great, right?
Okay.
And but I'm in it. I used to drink Diet Coke. Now it's iced tea.
Yeah.
But every pregame meal I have an iced tea. I don't eat the pregame meal.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because our cafeteria does it here, and they're always like, "Well, I made you a plate." So I'll save it, and then after the game, I will chow down on it. But I can't do it pregame. So those are those things. And then what's great here, we have mass every game day.
Yeah.
So we kind of keep our routine the exact same every single week.
Yeah.
But there's certain, like Thursday nights, I like taking my family out to dinner.
Okay.
So you try, like our week, September to November, every week's the same. Like, it's like, here's what we're doing this day, here's what we're doing this day. Like, I'm in the office from this time to this time, I'm going to be home at this time. Like, you try to keep a routine, but I'm very super, like, I wear the same socks, same underwear, everything.
Right, I got you.
It's all like, and I carry it on my hanger. I hang it up in my locker every single game day.
Do you wash it?
Oh yeah, it gets washed. It gets washed.
Gotta ask, man.
It gets washed. If you wear a long sleeve in September, you got to wash it. It's got to get washed. But that's the fun part is the kids see it. They see it. The way you do things.
For sure, man.
That's the fun part.
Do they? The team has a certain.
They do.
They got their own thing.
Guys do their own things.
Right.
I mean, guys will bring a foam roller and go roll out in the weight room before, or a Theragun, or they're listening to the same music, or there's always something those kids do. And honestly, that's how I was as a player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, like in high school, I went to Wendy's off Shawnee Mission Park, where I got a spicy chicken sandwich every Friday night. Hey. Like that's what I ate. And now the Wendy's is closed, so it's tough to drive by there, man. Right? It's like, but I did that. I'd listen to the same music, and it's just funny how that never goes away.
Papa Roach, man.
Right, Papa Roach, Blink 182. There's there's all sorts of stuff that got me going.
Oh yeah. Love it.
Is there a season that still haunts you to this day?
Honestly, the 2023 season was rough.
Yeah.
We lost one regular season game. We lost to Rockhurst, and then we beat Aquinas, and then we lost to Aquinas in the playoffs that year. We won the league. We went 7-0 in the EKL, and we lost 14-7.
Wow.
And that game was tough. Like, we had a field goal blocked, return for a touchdown, and then they had a double reverse pass for a touchdown. That's how they scored their 14. And we just could not get enough going offensively. We had the ball late in the game, and we just couldn't get it. We lost 14-7.
Wow.
Because that team was
14-7, man.
team was really good. I mean, they were loaded with guys.
Yeah.
The 2013 season was a tough one too. Obviously, one of the hardest ones was 2020. I mean, it was COVID on top, but man, we had won 6 titles in a row. Had got all the way to the semifinals against St. James. Missed a field goal at the end of regulation to win it.
Wow.
And then scored in overtime and got our extra point blocked. And that's how fast. And then they scored on the first play, and they kicked the extra point, and the game was over. So it's like, man, that was 6 years, and it comes down to 2 minutes.
Right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, it was just not. It was tough, But that's the competitive side of you, where you want every season to end with a win, right? And when they don't, it's how are you going to respond to it, and what are you going to do from December to August that is going to make sure that doesn't happen?
Yeah, for sure, man.
But man, I remember some of the wins, but man, those tough losses are ones that stick with you.
Oh man.
And you remember certain things about it, oh man, I know
what happened.
Oh yeah,
happened.
Man, he missed this protection, or man, that guy slipped and fell, and then this guy was able to make the play. And that's the hard part, because those don't go away. I mean, you can't replay it.
Right.
So
yeah. What about? There's so many of them. Okay, there's so many of them. What's your favorite high school football movie?
Mine? Oh man, high school football movie?
Yeah. There's so many of them.
See, I like All the Right Moves. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. That's an old school one.
Yeah, it is.
See, my favorite football movie ever is The Program.
Let's
go.
But
that's a college program.
I love that movie.
But The Program, and now you talk to these kids, they have no idea what the program is.
They have no idea what that is.
Because you'll talk, you'll tell a kid who Latimer is, or who Alvin Mack or some of these guys are, and they have no idea.
They grew up with the whole 9 yards, man.
I mean, Friday Night Lights is a good one. Varsity Blues. I mean, those are all the ones.
Titans.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. There's some good ones.
But the program was badass,
the program
man.
was way beyond its years.
Yeah.
I mean, you imagine it now. It's got NIL in it. It's got all the off the field drama. It's got coaches paying players.
Man.
There's a lot in that movie.
Steroids.
That's right. There's a lot in that movie. There's a lot in that movie.
I was going to ask you that real quick, man. You mentioned NIL, man. You help players get to college. That's really what you do too, right? Free education, man. You helping these young players, their families, through this sport, man. You're helping these young players. How much has that changed, man, with this NIL stuff, man? I mean, that's got to be a challenging thing to navigate. Can you talk about that?
I mean, it's all changed. Next year we'll have 13 active junior college players. Which is crazy. We've never had that many. Wow. And that's all because, the levels are now getting recruited different. Yeah. So we got kids that are, surefire what I felt like FCS low-level D1 guys that are in junior college now because they're not getting recruited.
Oh, wow.
You know, so now it's like, well, now they're going to go to a junior college where the eligibility might not count against them. You know, so now they're going to be 19 or 20 coming out with 4 years eligibility left, where now they can go make a decent amount of money to go play college football.
Right.
You know, we have a young man playing at K-State, Taylor Portier.
Yeah.
He's in his 6th year.
Wow.
Or 7th year. I think it might even be his 7th year. And it's like, well, you know, I mean, I'm making a decent amount of money, and you know, he was hurt a couple years, so now he's healthy, so he's taking his last year.
Is there like a COVID year in there?
Oh yeah, so he was. I mean, he's got a COVID year and 2 medical redshirt years. Wow. So I think this is his 7th year. You know, he's going to be a starter for him, and it's like
25.
Man, I think he's like 26. He said, "Man, yeah, right." I said, "Man, I was the head coach at 28." Yeah. But it, you know, that's the way the game's changing. Yeah. So like you got a 26-year-old man getting recruited against an 18-year-old fresh out of high school. Man. Like, which one are you going to take? Yeah. Like, you know, that's the game these kids are having to play a little bit now.
But even thinking about that in real time, man, like a 25-year-old, let's say, player versus an 18-year-old kid. Yeah,
there's a lot.
I mean, there's a lot of physical difference there, man.
And that's what's crazy is, like, you're talking guys in the NFL are 21, 22 years old, too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of guys younger in the NFL than some of these college players. Yeah. You know, and it's, you know, creating a tough situation for these kids getting recruited because, they're, you know, we're finally starting to see the end of the COVID year. So, like, those guys are all out of college now. But now you're getting like, hey, this kid's going to stay another year because he's making $50,000. You know, so he's going to stay.
Right.
And hey, you may not have a scholarship yet this year. You know, and that's what's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, because we got guys at high level D1, low level D1, JUCOs, D2, NAI, and we have them at every level. And I think it's unique to see kind of what the different levels are utilizing the NIL, because everybody's doing it.
Right.
You know, there's a level of it, whether it's you know, helping them take care of food or helping them get a car. Or, I mean, there's all, which is great.
For sure.
And so, again, if you can use football as that avenue, do it.
Yeah.
You know, like we were blessed to have 3 guys go play in the Ivy League. Like they have Ivy League education.
Yeah.
Because they were good at football.
Yeah.
You know, and now they're living in New York and they're, you know, all over the country with great jobs because they graduated from Ivy League institutions. And, again, it's all because they're playing a game that they're pretty good at. Yeah. But then, you know, you're throwing on top of the program that we've built and how competitive we are. These colleges are going to come in here and grab kids. And that's what, again, a very rewarding part of the job is seeing the success these kids have had away from here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we've tried to build them up and get them to where they can have a little success outside of here.
I'm sure you keep some sort of tally on this. How many kids you sent to college?
I don't have a total number.
No?
I mean, its average is like 7 or 8 a year.
A year?
So you go 14 years, 13 years of it.
Okay.
It's a lot.
About 100?
Oh, yeah. Like we were, last year I think we had 29 active college football players. Wow. And that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of guys. So that was probably the last 6 years, probably 5 years of guys.
Nice.
That's awesome.
But that's the fun part.
Man. All right. Last fun thing I got, man. This is a versus. I'm just still from my boy D-Rod here, okay? This is high school football, though, okay? Think about it in your context versus, all right? So, dominant player, okay? Dominant offensive lineman versus a dominant defensive lineman. Which one?
Dominant D lineman.
Dominant D lineman versus a dominant defensive back.
I'm going to stay D lineman.
Dominant D lineman versus a dominant wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Ooh.
We've had a lot of good dominant wide receivers here.
Yeah.
That's why I was quick at that one.
And he's an offensive coach. Don't forget that.
That's
Don't forget that. All right. Dominant wide receiver versus a dominant linebacker.
I'm going to go linebacker.
Okay. All right.
A linebacker in high school can change the game pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's tough to scheme against a really good linebacker.
Yeah. Okay. Dominant linebacker versus a dominant tight end.
Linebacker.
Okay. Dominant linebacker versus a dominant running back.
Running back.
Dominant running back versus a dominant quarterback.
Quarterback, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've been lucky here to have really good ones.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got a really good guy back there, it doesn't matter what you do around it.
I just didn't know, like, because you know high school, right?
Sure.
I mean, I've seen a lot of high school football. I've seen some really good quarterbacks. But, man, I like to your point, I've seen some teams where they got that one D lineman.
Oh, yeah.
the team, they can't, no matter what they do.
No,
they drop back to pass, they're getting sacked. You know, they drop back to, or they run, they're getting stopped. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was just wondering how that would work here.
It's tough because, like, we've had this success with, like, wide receivers because I think how we scheme it and the things we do isolate those guys. You know, and like a lot of times in high school, you're trying to hide a kid at defensive back. Yeah. Well, we're going to find that, and try to do it where, man, I'm not going to run at a dominant D lineman or linebacker because that dude's too good.
Right.
Like, but if I can get him to false step or move one way and then throw it another way, now we're on to something because now we're giving our guy a step. And if our guy has a step, he should be able to take advantage of that.
Be gone.
Oh, yeah. And that's I mean, we've been real lucky to have quarterbacks, receivers, running backs. But, man, we went on a run like 4 years in a row where we had defensive player of the year at linebacker.
Oh, for real?
You know, like we just had really good guys in that position.
Okay. And,
again, it makes it hard because, I mean, now we had some good D linemen in front of them too now all of a sudden, man, what are you guys going to try to stop?
And,
man. You know, that's where we've been really lucky.
Okay. Well, listen, Coach Holmes, man, this has been excellent talking to you, man. Thank you for sitting down with us. Keep up the great work, man. Keep this football program going. Keep people loving you. Keep people hating you.
That's right.
All that in between.
Had to throw that in there.
You know, everything, man. Keep it going, man, because like we said earlier, man, just winning, man, it brings that. You know what I'm saying? No, one way or the other. And most importantly, man, shout out to the school, Bishop Miege. Yep. Shout out to all the players, former, current, everybody, the families, you know, here in the community, man. Shout out to all of them. Is there one last thing you want to share to people listening, watching, hearing you right now that you want to talk about?
You know, man, when you go to find something that you want to do for a living, do something that you're passionate about.
There we go.
You know, and that's what I've learned is, I know you mentioned it earlier, is I don't ever envision myself getting out of this place. Yeah. You know, just because of what's been built and what you're surrounded with. You know, you can do something, you know, on a daily basis that you don't enjoy doing.
Right.
You know, are there tough parts of this job? Sure, man. But at the end of the day, you're getting to be around kids on a daily basis and trying to make an impact in their lives, and you can't do that in any other profession.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where it takes that one phone call where somebody calls you 15 years from now and says, "Hey, thanks for this," or "Hey, man, thanks for helping me get that job," or "Oh, man, you know that guy? Can you help me get a job?" Sure, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'll call him. Yeah. You know, and I think you just can't get that anywhere else. You know, you can't get that in the business field. And, you know, I know guys that have gotten out of education into business, and it's like, man, that wasn't so bad in there, you know, coaching. Because you get in a 9-to-5 job, and it's like, man, I got to go into an office every day. Like, I couldn't do that. Right. So, man, when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, just be passionate about what you do, and you're going to be successful with it.
That, man.
I love it.
Well said, Coach Holmes. With that, Enterrupt KC, everybody. JL.
D-Rod, man.
Like, follow, share, subscribe, man. Come check out Bishop Miege. Come check out the Mighty Stags. What's the date of the first game, Coach Holmes?
September 5th at St. James.
September 5th at St. James. Come check them out, all right? Come support. We are out of here, everybody. Peace.
Thank you.